Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the 2022 year ahead reading for the collective energies. We're going to be diving deep into what 2022 might have in store for us as a collective when it comes to this ascension journey. Do make sure that you are checking out all of the readings over on Susan Dawn Spiritual Connections, my sister channel. The daily energy draws are back, so if you need some motivation, inspiration, and just a general message from Spirit, every day. Check it out. We are back to posting Mondays through Fridays for the daily energy draws. If you would like your own personal 2022 year ahead reading, make sure that you book with me. The bookings will only be available for a limited time. I think I'll still be accepting it throughout the month of January, at least for the next couple of weeks. So if you would like your own personal 2022 year ahead reading, then make sure that you book now and get your booking in before that goes away. Okay, so the way I'm doing this is I am splitting this up a little bit. So we're going to look at the current energies heading into this new year. We're in the fifth day of the year. We're moving into the beginning of the year. So we're going to look at the current energies, what we have going on right now. Then we're going to look at the 4 quarters. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and then December. And then we're going to look at certain themes that might be cropping up. But we're going to just see what might be coming in for the collective as a whole. So take it as it resonates for you and your situation. Again, if you'd like me to get specific for your situation, for your life, then you can feel free to book with me. Thank you to all of you who already have. But this is going to be a collective reading. Spirit, a collective reading for 2022. What do we have in store for the collective for 2022? I'm hearing lots of change, but the change is actually coming on the heels of building that new foundation. So it's not going to be the upheaval that we might have experienced in 2020 and 2021. It's going to be more of a leveling out, a balancing out of the changes that we have been experiencing. I forgot to put my microphone in, so I hope you guys can hear me. A leveling out, 2022 is all about foundation. It's all about more stability. It's all about more security. So we are really moving into this energy of, yes, there's going to be change, but it's almost like what I'm seeing are the seeds that you had planted for manifestation, the things that you are creating. That's what is going to be coming in. That's the change that's going to be coming in. Everything that you had already been creating, all the seeds that you had been planting, coming to harvest, coming to bloom. So the change is not going to be like the tower moment energy. It feels like the change is going to be much more steady, steadfast is what they're giving me, much more stable, much more grounded. So if you've been in a process of experiencing change in your physical life or even internally as internal transformation, if you've been experiencing that change on the journey thus far, this is going to be more change, but it's a stable change. It's going to be so for example, I'll give my own example because this is what they're telling me. It's almost like for me, the big upheaval and the big change that I experienced was me deciding to move and sell my house. And so that change is continuing into the new year, but it's leading to the positivity, the excited energy, the anticipation energy of having a new home. I'm still in a temporary place. I'm in a transition energy right now, but that's the change that's coming in. So you can apply it to however it looks for you. For example, if the change was you leaving a job, then moving into a job that is more aligned to your passion, your purpose, what you want to be doing, maybe more money. So there are going to be changes, but it's going to be of a higher energy, higher alignment, and much more balanced and steady because of the foundation that we are building in 2022. So that feels really, really good and exciting. All right, Spirit, what do you have to say? What's the current energy for us as we head into 2022? What's the current energy for us? I'm going to take that one as well. Beautiful. So we have apprehension, moving out into the world, doubt and fear. And I feel like that's kind of like where we were. And you see like the vines here, like it's blooming. The seeds having been planted, and you might feel a little bit fearful. You might feel a little bit uncertain because you might not entirely be able to see yet where you are going, but that's where faith comes in. And they're saying here, pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to the vibration and the energy that you're putting out into the universe, because that's what you're aligning to. So if you have a higher vibrations, if you have loving thoughts, if you counter this fear, this doubt, this apprehension, this uncertainty with a sense of excitement, with a sense of trust, with a sense of faith in regards to the universe, then that is what you will align to. So it's almost like even though we might not see fully where we're headed, not everything has been revealed to us just yet. It's like maintain your vibrations, keep those positive thoughts, keep that positive forward momentum going. Because the serendipity energy, it's almost like I'm hearing fated events are coming, but it's not so much fated as it is your own creations. You're just aligning to that higher energy. So keep releasing fear, keep releasing doubt, keep releasing uncertainty, because you are moving into this higher level of your life. And again, we talk about this all the time, how change kind of brings about a sense of fear and uncertainty, because that is the ego. That is the ego that likes to plan, that likes to know, that likes to be certain, that likes to stay in the comfort zone, because the ego serves as a survival mechanism, tries to protect us. But the more aligned we are to our soul, the more we recognize that we don't have to plan so much, or we don't have to know. We just have to trust. We just have to have faith. So, message of trust and faith as we are entering into the new year. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to break this down into the 4 seasons. And I'm not going to do it as January, February, March. We're just going to pull 3 cards for the overall energy for the different seasons, for the different quarters of the year. So, first quarter, January, February, and March. January, February, and March. I'm also getting this message here with the sun here. It's almost like if the past year, past couple months, the past couple of years have felt very heavy, dense, intense, draining, if it have felt very dark for you, 2022, again, it's new energy that is here. It is a new foundational energy. There have been a lot of endings, but on the heels of endings come beginnings, and from destruction comes creation. That's this energy that we've been channeling for the past several months. And that's the energy that is here with this new year. And so if things felt a little bit dark for you, or cloudy, or just heavy, then the sun is rising for you in 2022. And it's almost like what I'm getting the energy is like, we're not bullshitting you. This is not just wishful thinking. This is what is to come in 2022. The sun will rise. It might look a little bit heavy still. It might look a little bit cloudy still. You might not understand or know entirely how this is going to pan out, but the sun is rising. So have faith in that. Have faith in the universe. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in love. Have faith in God. Just continue to have faith. All right. First quarter, January, February, March. First quarter. We have Judgment, 2 of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. The 2 of Cups, or I'm sorry, the call card is the... I'm just getting called to this. We have the 20 number here, 20, and then we have the 2, and so they're pointing it to me as 2022. Call is the Judgment card in this deck. Call for me, or judgment for me, is that higher level of ascension, being called to rise. And I feel like this is what is really happening for the whole planet. And we've channeled this ad nauseum here. You can go back through all the sacred channelings on the playlist. For all that, we're going through a global ascension. Everybody is waking up, everybody in their own way. everybody in their own process and in their own path. That's why we can't force anybody, because everybody is on their own timeline. And so the only thing that we can do is just really honor ourselves and walk our own sacred path, and just be at peace with that, following our own peace. But we are going through a global ascension, and everybody is rising, hearing the call and rising to that, hearing the trumpet sound. It's Gabriel is what they're giving me. Gabriel's trumpet sounding, and heeding the call, answering the call to be better, answering the call to make changes, answering the call to their own soul, to their own spirit, to the truth of themselves, shifting within themselves, answering the call of love. And so, with this energy, everybody's going through this ascension process, but those of us who have been kind of the way showers, those of us who have already been conscious of the ascension journey and going through this ascension process, this is leveling up. And we've been channeling this, that it's now the higher heart ascension. We're moving into the higher heart. We're moving into a higher level of ascension. And we're moving into that with regards to relationships and partnerships. Now, this is because of your own self-empowerment. With the Queen of Wands here, this is that Empress energy. But it's, what I'm actually getting is like a balance of the masculine and the feminine energies within. This feels like the union energy, because the Queen of Wands is somebody who is not afraid to take action, not afraid to take the lead for herself, not afraid to step up, not afraid to be passionate and fiery and assertive. And that's that emperor kind of energy. But she's the queen, so she's in her feminine energy. This is the real beautiful balance of both polarities within her. She is the queen and embodying feminine queen energy, but the fire, the passion that she feels is very masculine, and that leadership energy, that taking action energy, that moving forward energy. And so I do feel like this is union energy, but this feels more like working in partnership. So if you are in sacred union, or if you are with a divine counterpart, or in a connection, some kind of soul connection, that's going to deepen and become more intimate. You're going to be working together, but this is also calling in soul families. Now, the Two of Water for me is usually more romantic connections, more intimate connections. So it's not so much friendships or family, although it could be that, which you're calling in. You're calling your soul family, but this is really you connecting one-on-one on a deeper level with somebody who matches your energy and matches your frequency, because you're being called to rise together. You're being called to answer the call together, this higher level of ascension. If you've been in a sacred partnership, and I channel for sacred partnerships and ascension connections, if you have been, with regards to your journey, doing this with a sacred partner or with a divine counterpart, that's going to deepen and become more harmonious, because you're stepping into the next phase of your connection. You're stepping into the next phase of your journey, and you're doing that together. They're reminding me of a teaching that I had channeled a couple of months ago, maybe half a year ago, something like that. I'm gonna draw it out for you guys. When it comes to sacred partnerships, they've channeled this to me 3 years ago from the beginning. Sacred partnerships are Trinity energy. It's the masculine, the feminine, and the God source energy itself. And they showed it to me as the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles then became my union card, because they showed it to me as God source, masculine, and feminine. So it made a triangle, and there was no separation there because you're a triangle. And then the more along my own journey and understanding I got, the more I began to understand that it's not so much a triangle, because the triangle still is separate because it has separate points, even though it's connected. It's more like this, it's merged. And even this doesn't quite do it justice, because there's still, it's almost like dimensions, it's still kind of separate. And so they showed it to me as then the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups then became my union card, and Three of Cups is joyous, it's celebratory, it's happiness. And they showed it to me as two cups pouring into the one. And when two cups pour into the one, that one being that God source energy, the two being masculine and feminine, then what happens is it completely merges. You don't know what came from one cup and what came from the other. You just know that you just have this beautiful cup of love. It's this Ace of Cups, essentially. And so what they showed to me next was this circle. Can you guys see that? It's just a circle. And they said this is when you have that recognition of the soul connection that you have with another person. But then you embark on the journey of ascension, and not everybody is on the sacred union path of ascension. This is just one path up the mountain, so to speak. Everybody has their own sacred path, but if you've been with me or if you resonate with my teachings, then it's likely that you are on this path because, again, I talk a lot about soul connection, sacred unions, and ascension relationships as a result or because of the ascension journey. So you had this soul recognition, this reunion of souls in which you came together. And so then what happened is you have been on the same frequency. This is one energy. This circle is one energy. But you have to walk your path. Your partner has to walk their path for your experience, for your learning, for your growth, for your own ascension. That's why it's so important to focus on yourself rather than on your partner. You don't, you're not looking over at your partner and seeing, okay, where are you going? Are you keeping up with me? You just focus on your journey because what happens then is you converge in this sacred union. But it's only because you're walking your sacred path, recognizing that you are coming into empowerment, mastery, wholeness, union within yourself. Your partner doing the same, and that's when you converge. Then they showed it to me like this. They said, that is just the beginning. Because when you come together after both of you recognizing coming into your own inner union, balancing out your own masculine and feminine energies, by which I mean you're clearing and healing the distortions, you are clearing and healing anything that is toxic, anything that is karma that you have accumulated either in your lifetime, this lifetime, or past lifetimes. You are doing all this healing work and clearing work. So this was the journey of healing. This was the journey of coming into union for yourself. Remember, first and foremost for yourself. Your masculine or your feminine is just your masculine or your feminine embodied in another person, outward, outside of yourself. But it is all contained within you. So you can't look at your masculine and say, well, he's doing this. You have to look at yourself too and say, what is your own inner masculine doing? How are you healing your own masculine energies from the distortions? How are they healing their own feminine energies from the distortions? We talk about that a lot on my sister channel as well. So then what happens is you are embarking on another journey. One phase of your journey comes to an end, and that's the journey's end that we had channeled back in the spring of 2021. That's the journey's end. That has been a very pivotal channeling. Something had to end. The journey as you knew it had to end because you are both transforming. And so you can't keep repeating the same cycles or the same energy that you were in here at this point in time when you first met. Although we try that because we're human and our ego kind of likes to force us into those templates or force us into those containers based on conditioning or patterns or what we think life should be. The more we trust in ourselves, the more we go along this journey, the more we learn how to trust our intuition and just follow our hearts and just allow things to unfold. Again, allowing things to unfold. We might not be able to see where things are going, but we're trusting. We're in this place of faith. We're in this flow of our own energy. And so this is when you guys come together, and it's like no matter where you go, you're still on the same energetic frequency. You are one energy. You are one match. There is absolutely no separation here. There hasn't been here as well. There's been no separation here, but you had to kind of go on your own individual journey through possibly physical separation to recognize that there is no energetic separation, that you are always connected. And so that's what you're realizing here. And what happens is then you go into higher heart ascension. You're traveling this journey together. This is mission work, but the mission work goes beyond how you express it. Like it goes beyond a career, it goes beyond a job, it goes beyond, doing talks or coaching or whatever it is that you do together. Mission together is love. Period. That's all it is. Your mission with your counterpart, how you express that can happen in a number of different ways. Maybe you start a YouTube channel together. Maybe you create art together. Maybe you build a business together. Maybe you create a family together. All those things are expressions of your mission. But the mission for Twin Flame Sacred Partners is love, period. because of the work that you have done. Your mission is ascension, and ascension is love, ascending into the energy of love, and the power that comes from the love that you have from yourself then becomes magnified with your counterpart and then has a ripple effect, a cosmic effect on the world as a whole, on the universe as a whole. And we've been channeling that for 3 years now. So I really do encourage you guys to go and check out the older readings, the older sacred channelings, because I go really deep into those teachings here. But that's this energy here. You're being called to rise into a new and higher level of your ascension journey, particularly for those of you who are with counterpart connections, twin flames, sacred partners, soulmates, whatever it is that you want to call it. You're calling in that soul family, especially when it comes to intimate relationships. This is also saying that even if you're not in a sacred partnership with regards to, like, one of those connections, and there's no judgment there. There's no, oh, I'm in a partnership, so I'm better than this. There's no hierarchy. There's no better or worse. There is just your own individual path. Honor your own individual path. So this is for relationships as a whole. You are releasing any relationship that is not of the highest energy, that is not of the highest frequency, of the highest light, that is not of the highest energy of love. And that could be releasing relationships that you might have had for a while that are codependent, that are, without boundaries, that are unhealthy, so that you can welcome in this connection that leads you to higher heart ascension. But it's coming from your own recognition of your own ascension journey, your own self-mastery, your own self-empowerment. Okay, so that was kind of I didn't expect that. But let's see what we have for April, May, and June. April, May, and June. And I feel like the first quarter of the year is going to be recognition of this. Recognizing within yourself, hey, I'm being called to a higher level. And so I'm only going to align to those relationships and those partnerships that are of the same frequency, that are of the same caliber. Becoming more intimate for those of you who are in sacred partnerships already, those relationships deepening. So there's two things that could be happening. You could be closing out relationships that are just no longer aligned to that higher frequency as your soul is calling you to ascend. Or you could be diving deeper into more intimate relationships with your partner. It's going to look a little bit different for everybody, but again, just allow and go with the flow, because even as relationships end, again, you're being called to rise higher, and thus you will align to relationships that are matching that frequency now, that are now aligned to you. Okay, April, May, June. April, May, and June, second quarter. We have the Four of Air, the Four of Earth. What did I say? Foundations. 2022 major energy of foundations. One more card, please. And the Queen of Air. Okay. I just saw Justice on the bottom of the deck as well. So yeah, this feels like balance. This feels like foundation, building that foundation now that you are recognizing within yourself this higher level of yourself, this higher frequency. It's almost like if you take this time to look back at where you were, even at the beginning of your journey, if that was years ago, if that was months ago, even if you just look back the past few days, the past few weeks, the past few months, you can see that you are shifting or have shifted into a new energy, into a higher frequency. And so your life is now aligning, and that's part of the change that we've been channeling. Some of us may have experienced some catalytic moments, some tower moments that were catalysts for us to create change. It was the universe kind of pushing us because we were in a new energy. I talk about that in, I think I call it sacred alignment or something like that. One of the past sacred channelings here on the channel. That's why you might have experienced some major changes that might have looked like tower moments or upheaval in your life, but it's only because you're clearing out the old energy. You're in a new energy, and thus your physical life has to align to that. And so if you're still holding on, okay, so say it like this. I'm going to give myself as an example again. For myself, the house that I had bought almost 12 years ago. I was single. I had gotten very, very sick, but I was still holding on to the house because that house was my healing place. It was my sanctuary. It was where I felt safe. It was where I felt good. It was where I felt at peace, especially as I was going through my illness. And so now everything had kind of changed. I was with somebody, and there was partnership, there was family, and I was beyond recovery. I was much, much healthier and getting better. My whole life changed as far as my business and everything else. My energy changed through this ascension journey as well. And so my physical world was changing as a result of this, but I was still holding on to the house. I wasn't ready to move. I wasn't ready to sell my house. I wasn't ready to let go of what I perceived as my sanctuary. But once I made that decision, there were a couple of catalyst events that occurred back in September, October that made me make that decision. And once I made that decision, it was like the universe and my own soul was breathing a sigh of relief and saying, now do you see that better is going to come in? You've made room. You're not holding on. You're not creating resistance. Now you've made room for the better to come in. And I might not be able to see my new home or what that's going to look like or how it's even going to come into being, but I can feel the energy of it, and it feels beautiful and it feels exciting, and I'm dreaming about this new home, and I have no idea where it is or what it looks like or how I'm going to get it, but I can feel the energy of it. It is in my vortex. It is coming in. It's because my energy had changed and shifted and elevated so much, expanded so much, that I was holding on to, and everything is energy. Even my home is energy. Even, the cards are energy. That's just what we're doing when we're reading tarot. We're picking up on the energy here. So I was holding on to, by holding on to my home, I was holding on to old energy, and it was time. It is time to allow my physical world to reflect now and align to the new energy that I'm in. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about change. So it feels like this energy in the beginning of January is recognizing, really honoring the change that you have undergone, and thus allowing yourself to dive really deep with that energy. That is the union within yourself, really recognizing and honoring the union within yourself, which is making you, I should say, having this effect on the energy of your environment, including your physical relationships. Now, moving into the second quarter, I do feel like there's going to be a lot more of the foundational energy, a lot more of the building energy. It almost feels like what I'm hearing is a lot more of the realignment. That is, cutting out anything that isn't in alignment with you. Four of Earth, do not hold on to something that you need to let go of. Allow yourself to shift as your energy is shifting. Allow your physical world to shift as your energy is shifting. And allow your beliefs and mindsets to shift as well, because that is part of ascension. If we, there's a real value in having convictions, but if you're so convicted that you don't allow yourself to shift or change, especially when it comes to beliefs or mindsets, then you just get yourself stuck. Part of the ascension journey is recognizing that we are creatures of change, that we are creatures of expansion, and that not only are we evolving on a physical level or a societal level, but our mindsets have to evolve as well. And what they're saying is, as your mindsets and your beliefs evolve, that is how you make the change in your physical world. You see that reflected in your physical world because it's from the inside out. So if you're expanding within yourself and not holding yourself back and not focus so much on the past or what you believed in before, or the mindset that you had before, or so narrow-minded on the direction that you were going, it's almost like what I'm seeing is a person walking on a path, and they're looking at the ground, they're looking at it's like almost like there are markers on the ground that are saying this way ahead. Well, you're so focused on that you're not seeing all the potential there is around you. And so it's like once you actually lift your head up, which is an analogy for shifting your beliefs or shifting your mindsets and recognizing how limitless you are, and just allowing yourself to trust and go with the flow, once you lift your head up, you see, oh my gosh, there is so much abundance, so much beauty, and so many different directions I can take. I don't have to walk this narrow path. I don't have to choose just this one option. There are so many different opportunities that are possible for me. So once you really let go and cut out anything that is limiting yourself, then everything just opens up. And I feel like that's what the second quarter is all about. I feel like the second quarter is continuing to build that stability, that structure, that security for yourself, but not in such a limiting way, allowing yourself to do so with limitless possibilities. Okay? Hope that makes sense. All right, so let's see what happens in the third quarter. So this is going to be July, August, and September. July, August, and September. The world. Yeah, it's like the world opens up to you, but you have the key. You have the key here. And what I love about this is that new earth energy. You see how you have like 3 earths here, and it's almost like it's shifting dimensions. That's because of the energy work that you do within yourself. A dimension is just a shift in consciousness. You change dimensions by shifting in consciousness, by allowing yourself to open up, by allowing your mind to be open. And so the more we're creating this, is what they're saying. We're creating this by shifting our own consciousness. And the more people who shift their consciousness into higher frequencies, the more the planet shifts as a whole in its physicality. And we've been seeing this as well. They're pointing me to all the advocacy work that we've seen. Things might look like a shit show right now on planet Earth. There are so many of us who really just don't want to be here anymore because things seem so dense and so heavy, and like, are things ever going to change? Are we ever going to really create the new earth dream that we want, that we hold within our soul blueprint? But that's why we are here. We are here because we are clearing millennia, lifetimes, lineage, ancestral program, conditioning. We're clearing all of the energy on the planet and doing the healing work and shifting our consciousness. And the more people who do that, the more that the world has no choice but to shift along with it. And we see that again with like advocacy work that we're doing, the awareness of the importance of the environment, the importance of true education, not just indoctrination, but true education of our children. We see that when it comes to relationships and the types of relationships that we are craving and longing for now, the soul connections, the deep intimacy that we're longing for now, and that we're not settling for anything less. We can look at our physical world and see the evolution and see the good and see the positive effects of this change and this ascension that we're going through. They're reminding me of Fred Rogers' quote. They're saying, look for the helpers. Look for the helpers. It's so easy to get caught up in the fear and the media and the turmoil and the trauma and the disasters and all that stuff. It's so easy to get caught up in all of that. But look for the helpers. Look for the advocates. Look for the people who are making changes. And even in your own little circle, people who volunteer, people who just lend a hand, or people who, tip really well, or people who just send a smile to somebody who needs it. Those are the helpers. That is as small and subtle as it seems. That is making a difference. Do not negate the difference that it makes. Do not negate the difference that you make in this world. You are helping to shift the world just by being in the vibration of love. That is what 2022 is all about. It is about building that new foundation in the energy of love and creating that shift just by your embodiment. Just by you being you being in the highest energy of love that you can at any given moment. This is not to put pressure on you. This is you being the best that you can at every given moment. Your best, your personal best, your sacred path, you walking your path. You being in the vibration of love. It's funny, just a few moments ago, I got a phone call and I got triggered. And it took me a minute just to center myself and come back to my peace and to recognize why I was triggered. And so I wasn't at my best in that moment, but I brought myself back to love. Recognizing that you are love and that you are imperfect, but you are perfectly imperfect because you are you, because you are love, because you are an aspect of God's source. Because you are part of the universe itself, and because you're part of the universe itself, you are part of creation. You are meant to be here. In this moment and time, you are meant to be here doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So honor yourself and trust in this and love yourself. And let that love expand to everything in your world, your animals, your children, your relationships, your job, your hobbies, whatever it is. Allow that love to expand, because through that expansion, you are helping to shift. You are helping to shift the earth, the whole of the earth. Okay, let's continue. July. This is a very impassioned reading. Holy cow. All right, July, August, September. I love this. 10 of Earth. You are creating that new foundation. 10 of Pentacles. You are creating in your physical world the new foundation. That's what this is all about. And again, that's coming on the heels. I just want one more card for clarification, please. Just one more card to even it out. The Ace of Earth. Yeah, this is a new beginning. So, recognizing yourself. Cutting out anything, shifting beliefs, anything that is not aligned to this new energy. Just building a new, firmer, stable foundation for yourself. Shifting your consciousness, raising your vibrations, raising your frequency creates this new earth for you. And that is the change that we're channeling here. You might not be able to see everything down the pipeline. We tend to like this. Oh, in 5 years, I'm going to have this. Or in 2 years, I'm going to do this. Or in 6 months, it's going to be like this. We can't do that anymore. That is an old template. That's an old operating system, they're saying. It's an old operating system. Now we are recognizing the importance of presence. That is higher heart ascension. Higher heart ascension is being very present and just allowing yourself to go with the flow. You can have goals. You can have dreams. Those are two things that help to create and manifest. But if you are in an energy of planning, then you create a limiting mindset, a limiting structure. I was just talking to a friend today about how I plan out my day the night before. I write down everything that I need to do, but I also allow for flow. I also allow for flexibility if something needs to change. So it's structure, but it also allows for movement, for what are they saying? Movement, flow of energy. That is the feminine energy. It is allowing for anything to arise, and you know that whatever arises, you'll be capable of. You'll be able to take care of it. Doesn't mean that things aren't going to get done, but you're not castigating yourself or negating yourself or berating yourself if things don't get done. This is that balance of the masculine and the feminine energy. It's having that structure and that plan, but also allowing yourself to go with the flow and not being so narrow-minded or contained within that plan that you're not able to be flexible, you're not able to shift. And that's what this feels like. It feels like this is the change that we are seeing. We're seeing physical changes in our physical world, our physical tangible world, new beginnings. We might not be able to see how it comes into being. We might not even be able to see exactly where we're going or what are we doing. For example, if you want to travel, you know, maybe you have that desire or that goal for travel, but you don't know exactly where you're going, where you're going to get the money, or when it's going to come. But this is you just being in the energy of trust and flow and allowing opportunities to come towards you. This is all about alignment. Your life is realigning to match your high vibration energy of flow. Okay. Hope that makes sense. And the final quarter, fourth quarter. This is October, November, December 2022. Fourth quarter. Yeah. Hierophant is my Ascension card. This is the higher level of Ascension. And we also have a 5 number, and that is change. So I do feel like 2022 is going to be seeing a lot of change. But again, instead of being afraid of it, instead of saying, oh my gosh, more change, welcome the change, because change is just alignment to your new energy. And if you're maintaining those positive, loving thoughts, if you're maintaining that higher frequency and that higher vibration, then the change is all good stuff. It's all good things. So allow for this. You are going to be, from here on out, constantly expanding and evolving into higher levels of ascension. That is what this journey is all about, and it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. There was a collective message that I posted on Susan Dawn Spiritual Connections. It was from a client reading, and what the message that was there was go with the flow. You may have thought that you're, at the top of your class. You may think that you've learned everything there is to know, but you have just touched the surface. You're moving into another phase of ascension, a deeper level of ascension. There is more to go. There's more to learn. There's more to understand. There's more to embody. There's more to align to. There is more. So allow yourself to receive all the wisdom. They had shown me, I'm going to see if I can get it here because they're showing it to me now. The image is of a woman that is standing on a pile of books, and the message that they gave me was, the analogy that they gave me was, you might think that, you're at the top of your class, that you're graduating because you are, maybe like you're graduating high school, that kind of energy, you're the senior, you're the hot shit. But then it's like, wait a minute, you go to college and you're starting at the beginning. That's this energy here. You have learned so much on this journey thus far. You have learned to trust your intuition. You have learned to honor yourself. You've learned to have boundaries. You've learned to open up to your connection to God's source, your connection within yourself. You have learned so much. And so it might feel like you've reached the top and you've closed the last book, but there is so much more wisdom. There's so much more to learn from the whole of the universe. There is so much more that is coming in for you. 22 number as well, they just said. There is so much more to learn. You're just, in many ways, starting your ascension journey. This is higher heart ascension. What you were doing previously was a lot of the healing work, a lot of the clearing work, a lot of the releasing work. Now you're really, really embracing and embodying what the ascension journey is all about. And it is all about esoteric wisdom. It is all about connection to God's source. It's all about peace within yourself. It is all about creation for the collective. It is all about the universe as a whole and your place in the universe as a whole. So there is so much more. You are continuing to ascend and will continue to ascend. End of 2022. What do we need to know about the end of 2022? Also getting the energy of self-mastery, the Eight of Earth, Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, working on yourself. And I love how it's a cello here. It's that music. It's like you're listening to the song of your soul now, and it's not so much working on yourself as you had in the past, but it is dedication. You're dedicated to yourself. You're dedicated to your journey. You're dedicated to your ascension in a way that you may not have been before. This is just expansion, expansive energy. And one more card for you're dedicated to your ascension. I don't know if I said that, but that's what's coming through. You're dedicated to your ascension. All right, just one more card, please. One more card for the end of 2022. King of Earth and the Messenger of Air. So it does feel like there is just very grounded energy here. And what I love about this is you have the queens and you have the kings. So this is a beautiful balance. You are just, and I feel like this Messenger of Air is now imparting that on others, not forcing it on others, not preaching to others, because that's spiritual ego. We're releasing all of that. But this is sharing that wisdom that you have with others, being a messenger. That's what it is. It's being a messenger. And when you're a messenger, you're connected directly to God's source. That's exactly what we do here in our channeling. We remove the ego and just allow ourselves to open up to directly to God's source, connecting directly to God's source, and our spirit team that is connected to God's source, and just allow ourselves to bring through whatever messages are necessary at this point. Without ego, without expectation, without forcing any beliefs, we are just messengers. And I feel like that's the point that we are reaching where we're going to be messengers on a higher scale, on a grander scale. With the King of Earth here, what I love about that is it's very practical, it's very balanced, and it's very grounded. So again, removing the spiritual ego, this is just allowing yourself to humbly be that messenger. And I'm hearing servant of God. So I don't mean it in such a way of the biblical way, which fundamentally can be very restrictive, but this is you being a beautiful messenger of God. And that's what embodiment is all about. You're embodying love, then you're embodying God's source energy. That's what Ascension is all about. Wow, this is beautiful energy. All right, I want to get a couple of final messages for 2022, the year ahead. So what can we expect for 2022, the year ahead, for our Ascension journey? The year ahead. What can we learn or expect from this Ascension journey, 2022? Just say yes, yes. The year of the yes, they're saying, and get grounded. It says empaths, highly sensitives connect with nature, but again, that grounded energy, that embodiment energy. Allow yourself to embody this in everything that you do, whether you're going to the grocery store or in the parking lot or a, sports game or, a concert or, you're with your family. It's really important to embody everything that you've learned through your Ascension journey. By the year of yes, what they're saying, it's the year of yes. You're giving me the year of yes. The yes card is this energy of, again, don't hold yourself back. Cut out anything that isn't feeling like truth to you, anything that isn't feeling like it's for your best and highest good, anything that where you are abandoning yourself. And allow yourself to say yes to that which feels right to you. By contrast, allow yourself to say no, but it feels like the year of yes because it feels like the year of higher alignment. That's not to say yes to everything that comes your way, use your discernment, but it feels like the year of opportunity is what they're coming in with this because it's very grounded. You're building foundations, you're building more stability, security for yourself, and I feel like opportunity is coming in with that. And one more. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to end with messages. This is my conversations with the universe message. So let's see what message we have for the year, for 2022. What message do you have, Spirit, for us for 2022? Okay, 2022. Oop. We have, even in the darkest times, I was there casting hope on your heart. And what was the message that we got earlier? Even in the darkness, the sun is rising. The light is brighter than the darkness. And one more. You are here to live, to be, to love. All right, you guys, that is going to be it for the collective 2022 year ahead reading. If you would like to book with me for your own personal reading, we do go a little bit deeper. We pull a card. We do a spread like this, and then we pull a card for relationships, finances, and career, family and home, and then soul growth. So we do go a little bit deeper, but if you would like to book with me for that, go ahead and reach out to me or book on my website, susandonspiritual.com. I am sending you guys so much love, so much light, and we'll see you next time. Bye.